Hi guys. Well, on a beautiful sunny day, we have to think about some difficult things, and this is a challenging time for us as churches, as individuals, and as nations that are in some level of serious crisis, probably more than we've ever had in living memory, for sure. I wanted to give you a couple of thoughts that might be helpful as we go forward together in this time, and they are how to stay in this time, essentially. And the first thing I want to say, I just feel like it's such an encouraging thing. The first passion that Jesus demonstrated in his public ministry was that his Father's house should be a house of prayer. So let's take up that call again and become a people who pray more than anything else. So can I give you 4 ways to stay? The first is to stay safe, and the best way to be safe is to be prayerful. To gather to pray on your own, but to be prayerful, and of course acknowledging physical distancing in the same time. So that's important to stay safe, stay connected, and we can't always be physically connected at this time because of the distancing. We've been encouraged to exercise, to slow the curve, as they say. But we can use social media, we can use telephones, we can organize a way to connect with each other that is safe as well. But we want to encourage people not to get into total isolation from relationship, but certainly isolation as far as the virus is concerned, but not from relationship. And then also stay caring. Stay caring. Let's care for others around us. And I know this is a time of huge economic crisis as well as physical crisis. So we're having to consider how we can help the needs of others. And Jesus always encouraged his disciples and us to look out not for our own needs only, but for others. In fact, he said it's more blessed to give than to receive. So let's be sure that we are staying caring towards others and beating our fears that are coming knocking on our doors and the doors of many, many people. We are no longer slaves to fear, as we sing in the vineyard. And then, of course, stay creative. Our Father is the Creator, and He made the world in its amazing diversity for His pleasure. For His pleasure. So the creativity of God is a wonderful attribute that we can engage in as His children. In a very, very real sense, it feels like the world is going through a reset, a significant reset. So many things are in complete limbo and under serious adjustment. The economy is changing for sure, and that'll be another wave of challenge that we will need to engage in. And I was thinking about that when I was with a few friends this week and looking at Romans chapter 8, and I would like to just pick up on something here that might be helpful for us, not only for today and the messages we're receiving today. Romans 8, Paul says, I consider that our present sufferings are not worth comparing with the glory that will be revealed in us. The creation waits in eager expectation for the sons of God to be revealed. For the creation was subjected to frustration, not by its own choice, but by the will of the one who subjected it, in hope that the creation will be liberated from its bondage to decay and brought into the glorious freedom of the children of God. That's us, eh? We know that the whole creation has been groaning as in the pains of childbirth right up to the present time. Not only so, but we ourselves, who have the first fruits of the Spirit, groan inwardly as we wait eagerly for our adoption as sons, the redemption of our bodies. For in this hope we were saved. But hope that is seen is no hope at all. Who hopes for what he already has? But if we hope for what we do not have, we wait for it patiently. And then he goes on talking about the Spirit of God who helps us in this time, in this waiting, as we carry the freedom of the sons and daughters of God that is our identity. So if I can land it like this and say to you, I do also believe that in the mix and in the confusion and the pain and the struggle of what we're going through globally, we're also having an invitation to sabbatical living. And a good Sabbath should enable at least 4 things to happen for us. One is to stop from the normal run of things and activities that crowd our lives. So let's learn to stop. Let's learn to stand aside from the norm and do the unusual, that which is restorative. And the second thing is the Sabbath gives us a chance to rest. Both the weekly Sabbath, the seventh year Sabbath, but the Sabbath gives us a chance to rest. And let's do that. We rest from what we were doing and we take a break. And then it's also a time to delight. We find new ways of delighting in God, in creation, in others around us. And so Sabbath is a chance for us to delight. And lastly, it's a chance for us to contemplate, to think, to listen, and to explore the wisdom of God in His world and what He's maybe up to. So if we can learn to live sabbatically, we will learn how to stop, to rest, to delight, and to contemplate. We in Fountain Vineyard are blessed to have Wouter van der Westhuizen preaching a message for us today, and also Jenny Ford, who were both scheduled to preach in our gathered meetings, which are suspended. And so we're doing that through these mediums that we are now embracing. And so we're looking forward to the message they will bring in a few moments. But I just want to close this little message and encourage you, not only here in Fountain Vineyard, but across the nation, to remember a statement by Winston Churchill, who said, "Never let a good crisis go to waste." Let's see how we can gain from the things we're going through. And somehow in the mix of it all, believe always that the best is yet to be. And then Colleen and I went last night and watched this movie that was put on by Jeremy Camp, and his story with his first wife, Melissa, and it's called I Still Believe. And I'm not going to blow the cover of the story because you need to go and see this movie. It really is amazing. If you can get a chance to go and see it, I Still Believe. The story of Jeremy Camp and Melissa, and then his second wife, Adrian. For those in Fountain who would like to know this, Adrian is Rory and Wendy Lishing's daughter. So there's a connection to Fountain in this as well. And Melissa says, at the latter part of her life, she says this. She says to Jeremy, "Suffering doesn't destroy faith, it refines it." So may the suffering of what we're going through and all the challenges and turmoils of this coronavirus, may it actually be a refining time for us. And may humanity actually come out in a better place as a result of what we're going through. God bless you, and we're praying for each other. Be strong and stay safe.